Hey there guys, today we're taking a look at a brand new release from Bachmann, the New York Central J3A Hudson, and we're going to take a look at it, see what you're getting out of the box, go through the sounds, and cut it loose on the layout. So, let's get cooking. So one little note I want to cover right out of the gate before we get too far into the video. I'm going to make two separate videos on this locomotive. The first one's going to be an overview, review, you get more in depth on the sounds. Second one, all running, because people don't want to sit here and listen to me yap, so we're going to make it sweet and simple. You get to see the locomotive do the talking, and I'm going to do the talking in the other video. Alright, so let's take a look at the locomotive. So for this, I'm going to kind of do a speed run on it because, let's face it, this locomotive is going to get a lot of attention one way or another. So, I'm going to make my take short and sweet and go from that point. Right out of the gate, really nice locomotive. Bachmann did step their game up. This thing, it doesn't quite look it, maybe depending on the angle, but this is all die-cast. And it's not a weak effort like the Streamline K4. This thing's actually got some muscle to it. The locomotive does not have traction tires, but you sit it down on the rails, and I'll pull it off here in a second. That is a very solid thud when you put it on and off. And just to exemplify that, and we'll see how the keep alive works. That is a very solid steam locomotive, I'm glad to say. The details, of course, are a little bit simplistic, but that's how the J3As were. The New York Central Hudsons were beautiful locomotives, but yes, they were very simple. And I think Bachmann captured this nicely. So while our LED headlight's doing its thing and the capacitor's bleeding out, we'll take a look at the front end. A little bit of black paint on the side of the bracket will really tie this thing together. Otherwise, it fits the part. Like I said, it's a little bit simplistic, but Bachmann has tried very well for this engine. One thing you should note, and a lot of people may ask, well, where are the glass lights? So this is a thing Lionel famously goofed back in the 2000s, where they put, and most recently 2010s, where they put the glass lights on the front of the smoke box. The J3As, with the exception of one or two, never had them. The printing on the number plate's nice and crisp. The New York Central's in blue, looks fantastic. 5432 is legible both on the front and on the sides. It looks the part. It looks like a J3A. One thing to note, I'm going to move the camera down just slightly. The stock Easy Mate does come assembled and ready to go. In the parts bag in the box, you do get a fold-out dummy coupler. So, you don't have to have it running around with the Easy Mate like this. I'm probably going to do a KD scale head swap on mine just to make it look the part a bit better. Alright, we'll take a look at the front truck and the running gear real quick. One nice thing I really do appreciate. Take notes, Broadway Limited. They blackened the pilot truck wheels. I'm sorry. Locomotives look so much better with the wheels blacked out. This engine, case in point. The driver centers, they're colored. That looks great. Same for the pilot truck. Tender truck looks great. This is how it should be done, not naked silver, ruining the look of your locomotive. It's funny, if you look back on both Lionel and Broadway Limited in the 2000s, they did this. They look great. Fast forward, that's a cost-saving measure. So you can always fix it with black paint, but it's nice to get a locomotive out of the box where this is done, and I don't have to think twice about it. I'll turn the locomotive over real quick. You see the contact wipers are on the underside. Standard issue for Bachmann steam. No traction tires on the engine, but hopefully I don't think we're going to need them. This guy has got a lot of weight over those drivers. So with the locomotive and tender pulled apart real quick, we're just going to take a quick peek in the cab. Like I said earlier, cab windows look good, the mirrors separately applied. Yeah, you could argue it's a little bit chunky, but it's nice having it instead of just, pulling an Athearn and just sticking it on the side of the cab and hoping for the best. This actually holds up pretty good. Boiler backhead is simplistic. Remember, the J3s, of course, had a stoker that is replicated nicely right in the center. It does not come with engineer fireman figures. That's not a deal breaker for me, and that can easily be fixed by adding the right parts from Woodland Scenics, Broadway Limited, or whoever you want to do for your crew figures. The thing I'm happiest to see after a few of their steam locomotives, we got a simple connection, the old 2-pin drawbar is back. Compared to the nightmare that was re-railing the K4, this is a welcome addition. Just plug and go like you're used to, no fuss, easy peasy. So we'll take a quick peek at the tender, and I'm going to take too long on this, but it looks the part really nicely. Plastic shell, metal base, tender trucks are plastic. We'll flip it over real quick so you can see. You've got 4-wheel pickup on the 6-wheel trucks. That's standard issue for Bachmann big steam. Not a problem. The keep alive capacitor, that does half the job anyway, so you don't have to worry about it losing pickup. Taking a quick peek at the rear, you can see we do have a functioning tender backup light. Very nice. The ladders, they look a little bit chunky for what they are, but hey, it works. I'm not going to be staring at the tender on this locomotive very long. Head ends where the fun's at, so we're going to go from there. But you do have a coupler lift bar, the Easy Make coupler, and that's going to be a shoe-in for a KD. Now, cold load standard issue Bachmann, water hatch area looks pretty good. So, all in all, it is checking the boxes fairly well. Okay, so we'll go through the function list real quick. Bachmann gives you a nice little handout in the manual. You got 2-page spread worth of functions, and we're going to go through those real quick. So, F0 is your dynamo and your headlight on off, F1 bell, F2 whistle long, F3 whistle short, blowdowns on F4. F5 cylinder cocks. F6 is water fill. F8, of course, is your mute. You can rotate it through the sounds and your lights this way. And of course, 4 presses on F8 will get you into TCS's audio assist. F9 is not used. F10 is your blower. F11 is the injector. F12 is your coupler close. F13 release. F14 is your brake release. So going on through the upper functions, F17 is your safety valve. F18 is unused, F19 is unused, F20 is your grade crossing. F21 is forward quill. F22 is reverse. F23 stop. F24 will rotate through the whistle and bell, just like on the standard TCS decoders. F25 is the ash pan clearing. And we'll go through the whistles here in a little bit. F26 and 27 are kind of funny. They are station announcements, and these first started out with the Chargers and the ACS 64s, so we can get a departing and an arriving sequence. So we'll go through that real quick.
Your attention, please. Now departing on track 2, northbound train number 130. Passengers are advised to proceed to track 2 at this time. All aboard.
Now arriving track 4, southbound train 141. Please remain behind the warning line as the train approaches the station. All baggage must have identification. Please have your tickets ready and have a safe trip.
So not too bad. That should be plenty of staying power of a dirty track, or if you lose power at the club or wherever you're at. And just so you can see the locomotive at speed, I've commandeered the absolute finest in test track equipment, spanning the gap so you can see what this thing sounds like off the line. I know, absolutely mind-blowing braking technology. Let's cut it loose. So one thing to note with this real quick, the locomotive hasn't had, a full break-in. That's about 30 minutes of sitting here doing slow speed, forward and reverse. So it's not had a full mainline break-in with the load. Overall, a little bit of noise on the top end, but that's okay. I'm sure with some running and maybe a little bit of grease, it'll quiet right up. What we're essentially going to do in this segment, this is going to take longer than the ESU files, but we're going to cover all the whistles. Bells I'm going to skip over because that's a lot to cover, and you guys are probably going to be bored to tears watching this. So I'm going to go through, we'll just do a quick back and forth, your default settings, what it sounds like right out of the box, go through the whistles, and go from there.
UK whistle 6.
so now for the big question in the room, what will this locomotive run you? Alright, so we know the Bachmann catalog price, highly, highly jacked up. Now, on the street, where can you find this and what can you find it for? Roughly, you're going to end up paying ballpark $300 to $310 after taxes and shipping. Of course, if you bought a local from your local shops, you may get a deal right around the $280, $290 mark. It just depends. But all in all, you're looking, $290, $300 steam locomotive. For a TCS Wow Sound, die-cast steam locomotive, these are really nice. And I know a lot of people can argue, the Broadway Stealth series. Well, they haven't done a Hudson yet, so the fight's not fair. You can upgrade Old River Rossi, but there's caveats with that. So if you want a J3A Hudson off the shelf, TCS Wow Sound, keep alive, that's honestly not a terrible price. So that's just my take, and I'm sure as these locomotives come out and kind of age out a bit, you're going to see prices dip down, something a little more budget friendly. So yeah, guys, overall, I think they've got a winner on their hands. I really like this locomotive. The sounds are fantastic. Obviously, we covered that in brief here, and it's going to be on the layout here soon, but I've had it, just doing some break-in mileage between these sections of track. It's done fantastic. I think they did a good job on this locomotive. It looks the part, it weighs a ton, so if you want a New York Central Hudson, here's your ticket. One quick side note before we close out the video, I just wanted to say thank you guys for your continued viewership, support, subscriptions. I didn't think almost 12, 13 years later I'd be still doing this, but it's been a blast. I've enjoyed meeting a lot of you guys and, putting content out there for everyone to enjoy. So we're still going. I appreciate you guys for sticking around, checking out the latest and greatest with me, and we're going to close out the video with a few running shots so you can see what the engine's like. And if you do want to see more on the locomotive, check out the dedicated running video. That's going to cover all the good stuff you want to see and see this thing hustling around the layout. So thank you guys again for watching. I will see you in the next one.